Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Between the Lines podcast. I am one of your three hosts, creator and founder of the King Report, Carver King. And joining me as always, actually not as always, but as joining me as always, my two good friends. I think we'll start with Jackson. Jackson, how are you doing on a seasonably warm spring evening here, I'd say, in Minneapolis, Minnesota?
Doing well. Happy to be back on the podcast, man. I was wondering if you're going to switch it up there. I had me on my toes a little bit. It felt like you were going to go a different direction. Didn't know if you knew I was still
No.
here. So happy you
Yeah,
remembered me, and happy you started with me. Honestly, it means a lot this time.
for sure. I'm happy to have you here. JR, checking in from the Big O. How was it down there? How's it down south? I guess we have two people from down south. How's it down south?
It's good, staying warm. Just the streets of Omaha are buzzing about the Timberwolves. I'll say that.
Okay.
Word's starting to get around that Anthony Edwards is healthy. So yeah, excited to be here on playoff week. Just like football, kind of bittersweet because this is that time of year where hockey also starts the playoffs on Saturday. So it's like, oh, then we get to that dreaded range of post NHL, NBA playoffs and draft. We're about to truly hit baseball season. But when you cheer for the best team in baseball, it's
I
pretty
mean,
easy,
yeah.
honestly.
I mean, we got. I don't want you to get too ahead of yourself. Even the playoffs haven't started, and they wrap up in the
Right.
middle of June. So,
Well,
but yes,
that's
you
what I
are
was
right.
going
We
to
are
say.
coming towards the end.
There's a lot to unpack from what Justin just started off with there. But first of all, did not know the Big O was a Timberwolf city. That's dope.
Yeah,
Oh
love
yeah.
that. Love to hear that.
Just
Yeah.
add that to our land conquest. I mean, I feel like Timberwolves fans like chart a lot of like the like square miles just based off like the area to the west of us. There's a vast land to occupy. Good to know the
Mhm.
Big O is part of that. Um,
Yep. Yep.
but also the NFL playoffs always hits a little different for me personally. Just because I mean it is just you have like that week to prepare and then it's just done, right? Like, I mean it is kind of
Yeah.
like it is more bittersweet. With the NBA, I'm like, dude, time to strap in. Like I'm more fired up if anything.
At least
Yeah.
there are a ton of games. NFL, there's like,
Right.
okay, there's 4 games this week,
Yeah.
two
NFL,
next,
it
and
does
then
actually come. It comes and goes really fast. All of a sudden, you're in that dead week waiting for the Super Bowl. But we have a special guest joining us. I think his first time on the show, which is kind of insane. Um, Peyton Meisner, OG, the Nighthawk, joining us, our 2026 BTL Pod Bracket Challenge winner. You cleaned up in a few other brackets too, but thanks for joining us, Peyton.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. The Kale Comb special came in clutch this year. Yeah, it did win me a couple bracket pools. I will say some for money, but what I really like about this is I think it's kind of a lost art. It's just like old school like bragging rights. Everyone's about
Yep.
money, it's capitalism. Like this is a free thing you guys put on. The winner gets to join the podcast. You can't put a price on this. It's a good opportunity to get to catch up with you guys and talk a little ball.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. No, yeah, you cleaned up in a few different brackets. It was a Kale McComb special. I mean, you had a pretty, I mean, just in general, obviously, you being a big Iowa fan, you had a pretty special March in general with your guy, Ben McCollum.
Yeah, March this year did not seem real. Like it was like very surreal. I'm used to Iowa basketball. Like you get excited. It's like we made the tournament this year. Like we're gonna be in the tournament. That's really cool.
Yeah.
There's not a chance in hell that Fran McCaffrey's gonna get you the second weekend. And you put up with that for 15 years, and even back into Steve Alford. Steve Alford never made a Sweet
Yeah.
16. So this goes back to when I think I was like 6 months old when I like saw my last Sweet 16 appearance for Iowa. I was only 6 months old. So this is the first time I actually witnessed it. It was very surreal. And like, yeah, for like Ben McCollum to come in and make the tournament was like a pipe dream for us at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
And
seriously.
to make the lead in, it's hard to put into words. And,
Hype
it's
train.
going to be hard to get back. Hopefully it's sustainable. That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, didn't they land like the number like I mean, he had to be a top five guy in the portal, if not like number one guy in the portal.
The Hawks?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think them coming in with like a freshly like revamped roster starring like a top five player in college basketball was like super shocking that they were in the tournament.
Okay. I mean, for getting called a D2 roster all year long, that's all you heard from everyone. Is like this is a D2 roster, and we got a lot of jokes. I mean, I making the tournament it wasn't super crazy. I don't think. I think you're fair in that, but I mean, like seven, like finished in the top like half of the Big Ten. Like I don't know. I didn't think anyone expected like to go on the big run we did.
No, definitely. I was pretty impressed with the Hawkeyes, and like the run was super impressive. I was trying to give you a hard time, if anything.
And we had a D2 roster, man. Brand new coach, D2 roster. I don't know. I think we silenced the haters. No more Iowa Sweet 16 jokes. We got the monkey off our back. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be a Hawk fan. The vibes are here. The vibes are good in Iowa City. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Is that your top Hawk basketball memory? Is it your top Hawk memory?
Easily. It might be.
Moment?
It might be my top Hawkeye sports moment. Period. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think there's nothing better. Before that, the best Iowa basketball memory. We won the Big Ten tournament a couple years ago. That was really
Yeah,
That was dope.
I remember
But
that.
there was never any kind of like somewhat semblance of a signature win, like for Fran McCaffrey in the NCAA tournament. Like we beat the Davidson one year,
No.
we beat Temple one year, we beat Grand Canyon one year.
And then I remember, didn't you guys lose actually right away in the first round after winning the Big Ten tournament?
Yet to the Richmond Spiders.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So
Or Luka Garza, man.
good memory followed by a bad one.
Yeah.
But we can get right into it. Thank you for joining us, Peyton. It's episode 187 of the Between the Lines podcast. A lot of episodes. And a good number episode as well. As always, I came prepared, so I have a few written down. There's kind of a theme. So after my first one, I have written down, but I guess I can start off with obviously Sidney Crosby. I feel like he is kind of, at least to me, when I think of 87, I think of Sid the Kid. Also, he's kind of one of us. You know, he went to Shattuck, so local kid. And then this is where the theme starts here. We got Rob Gronkowski, obviously a great number 87. Got Brent Selleck, who, you know, kind of a throwback. You know, I hate the Eagles, but Brent Selleck, kind of an Eagle legend. And then obviously you got Mr. Travis Kelce Swift down there in Kansas City. So you got some good 87s. Get some. It's obviously kind of a tight end number.
I was
Kind of
wondering if
cool.
you're going to miss Taylor's husband, dude. That was going to be really bad news for our pod.
Yeah,
I was hoping you'd go.
I hadn't touched all of that.
I was hoping you'd go Vikes Bernard Berrien.
Yeah,
okay.
shout out B-Rad on that one. And,
I don't think he wore that in Chicago, but I'm pretty sure he
He
was.
did wear it in
No, he did not.
Minnesota.
Musa
He was
Muhammad
87
wore
on the Vikes.
87 in Chicago.
Musa Muhammad did wear 87. He was on the list of. I didn't write him down, but on the list, he did make the little Google AI thing. So good for
We
him.
also missed Gopher legend Eric Decker.
Oh,
Yeah, Eric Decker. Yep.
Sid's
Now-
probably the best of them.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Rob Gronkowski is the great. I mean, Rob Gronkowski statistically, I think, is the greatest tight end of all time. I know touchdowns wise, he's like one.
I just think
one of the
Travis
most
Kelce's going to be the richest.
Fair. I think that's Sid
You know-
was like kind of the GOAT in hockey. I mean, I guess Wayne's the GOAT, but like non-Wayne GOAT, Sid might be the GOAT. I don't know. I don't know puck that well. You guys know that.
Ugh. Yeah.
McJesus probably, but like you could be the best tight end in football, but whether it's Gronk or Kelce, they're still tight ends. Like because we always talk about this, is just football such a quarterback dominated sport. It really doesn't matter how good you are, unless you're like a LT Aaron Donald type player. But yeah, it's probably the Sid episode. I don't think any F1 drivers use 87.
No, I think Oscar.
We missed Oscar on 81.
Yeah, we did. F us. Okay, but we will start it. Obviously, we have Wolves playoffs kind of kicking off here on Saturday, 2:30. So we thought in the spirit of that, instead of using our typical Nugget vernacular for our little update, we're going to go with chicken tendies, you know, a little bit more fuller, kind of like Jackson said, throwing how, the University of or Ohio State, they throw the red X over the M's over campus. That's our version of that. So we'll be doing our chicken tendies as we enter war with our brothers in the Mile High City. But
I like it.
I always feel like it's probably respectful to go guest first. Peyton, I'm curious. Give us your first chicken tendy ever on the Between the Lines podcast.
Okay. Well, fellas, I hope that you guys, there's no big pharma sponsors here. Because that's the lane I'm going today. I've been I'm getting a little personal today on the show. I've been off my
Oh, go ahead.
ADHD. I've been off my ADHD medication for over 30 days. I think going on 60 days. And I got to tell you right now, they'll have these motherfuckers taking a pill at 8 a.m., making your heart beat out of your chest, tap dancing like you're Fred Astaire, and everyone claps their hands and they go, "This guy is managing his ADHD like a champ. That's the way he's supposed to do it." But God forbid a guy decides to get off of that, takes two puffs of a plant that God put on this earth back when people were wearing robes and sandals and eating fish out of a lake. And
Sure.
he's kind of criminal philosopher. So I just want to say the truth is with ADHD, it's not one size fits all. Some people need some structure. Sure. I'm sure some people need some medication. But some people need a couple puffs of a J in the evening and some little Bob Seger on the speaker just to get away from the distractions. So I think the problem is not what you use. I think the problem is your life moving forwards or you moving sideways with it? If you're handling your business, you're showing up to work, you're doing your thing, you're respecting your elders, keeping your word, paying your bills, who cares what kind of tool you're using?
Preach.
Preach. Yeah. Goddamn. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
JD.
Yeah, that one hit home for me because I've been off the meds now for about a year and a half, I would say. And that first like 30 days was a grind. You build up kind of reliance to it, but as soon as you get out there, like past it a little bit, past the kind of numb portion, man, like you start living. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of good ways to kind of like find your own path to navigating it and to just like adjusting and kind of knowing what kind of structure you need in your life to be able to kind of, I don't know, succeed and do your own thing without having to take a pill in the morning and have crippling anxiety.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, it's pretty solid. So congrats to you. And it's a hard decision to make, but once you kind of push through, I don't think there's any turning back. So
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, no, I guess Justin, do you want to talk here?
Yeah, I guess I'll throw the challenge flag on that one. Not everything you said of the benefits of it. More so Jackson saying the once you make that decision, you don't go back. So I've actually been off mine for a month and a half, just because I was unaware that like you get them in like 2 months at a time, scripts from your doctor. I was unaware that you have to have a meeting every year to keep that going. And I'm just way too lazy to schedule a doctor's appointment in Omaha. So it has to be like it's gonna be when we're back in Minnesota. And I've been back in Minnesota a couple times, but it's always on like a weekend. I'm like, I don't want to schedule a doctor's appointment. I'm just gonna wait till we're back for a couple of weeks. So I'll do it then. But I think the reason for me it wasn't like killer this last month and a half was I knew like once I knew that I didn't have any more scripts in there, and I'm also too lazy to message the doctor and be like, hey, can you send in another script for the next 2 months? Because I'm too lazy to do that, I just started taking one a day for like the last 60 days of it. So I think like if I was going from the two that I'm usually prescribed, like one in the morning, one in the afternoon, I think it would have been like an actual little bit of withdrawal getting off of it. But yeah, I will say I do agree with both of you that there's positives and negatives to using medication. Go talk to your doctors, people. BTL very pro getting yourself
pro
checked
doctor
out.
podcast.
Yep. I will say, having been off of it, there is a difference. Like I like the benefits of it when I'm on it. But when you're on it, let's say there was a time where I took it in the morning and didn't take it in the afternoon. I do feel it a lot more in the afternoon when I'm not taking it. Versus now, I just kind of feel like I've always felt because I didn't start taking it till I was 20, like 2 years ago, 27. So that is the definitely like the huge benefit of it after like a month of not taking any meds. That feeling of not being on it goes away. So yeah, I think there's like positives for me. I like when I was on it, but at 4 in the afternoon, I would know that it's worn off. Whereas now I can't tell that anything's worn off just because I'm like back to normal. It's like a weird, you guys get it.
No,
You've
totally.
both taken it. So it's like a weird positives and negatives, like I said. And then we got Carver, who just has never dealt with any mental health issues. So He's just a
No, I
privilege.
actually
Everything
don't.
is good
I
in
was
his life.
actually going to
across
cut you
the
off.
bow.
I actually don't. I was going to cut you guys off. I was actually going to cut Peyton off. I don't necessarily even believe in mental health issues. You know,
Yeah.
rub some dirt on it, drink beer, and
Yeah.
He
do
Carver's a
whatever,
lift
you know what I
yourself
mean?
up by the bootstraps type of guy.
Yeah,
That's why he's the president and founder of the BTL Pod.
Yep, exactly. I know. Shove your emotions down in the closet and set it on fire. I get what you're saying though. I feel like anytime you grow a dependency on, something, and especially I think the prescription drugs, right? Like they feel like they're a bit more curated to like get you hooked on them, right? Or give you a certain feeling, and then right, they're a little bit more obviously they're scientific in the lab. So I think a lot of those times, it's hard to get off that stuff. And not saying that stuff like it's heroin or crack, but I mean, it's like anything your body becomes dependent on. And I think, there's that not feeling good about it because, right, you lose the effects of it, the benefits of it, right? Like, obviously, ADHD medication, right, that gives you that focus, that lock in, that buzz. But at the same time, there's also that anxiety of just not being on it or what am I going to be like if I'm not on it. And then I think that goes like for a lot of things. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. And I guess shout out to you guys. I think I feel like, and I'm not an expert on it at all, but I feel like it's one of those things, not that you age out of, that's what I'm saying, but it's like you have a journey kind of with first off ADHD, like learning about it, learning that you have it. Then you get on the meds, right? Because it usually helps you get through school or like maybe like start kind of your career or whatever. But like hopefully maybe like I think you go through a journey and then maybe you find a time where you learn what it does for you and how to find that or adjust without it. So shout out to you guys. I think it's always good to not that pills are bad. I don't think necessarily taking pills is bad. Abusing pills is bad, but I think anytime you can be on pills, you can get something from them and then get off those pills. I think that's the point of pills. I don't think you're supposed to take pills until you die. So yeah. Anybody else? Okay.
No.
Let's kick it to JD for your chicken tendy.
Yeah, for my piece of the tender basket here, I'll be jumping in on Justin's guy, Clavicular. Not sure if you guys heard the news, but renowned self-proclaimed creator of Looks Max and Clavicular. Again, Justin's guy had a bad go last night. Was pulled off stream early, and TMZ reported overdosed. He's in the hospital, apparently like in healthy condition, I guess, as healthy a condition as you can be after overdosing on what seemed to be speculations are pain pills and then mixed with alcohol. So tough go for Clav, and I'm guessing maybe I'm out here asking you guys. One is with the death of Clavicular, hypothetically, would that be the end of Looks Maxing? And like would frame mogging cease to exist without the Clavicular? Or second note and question I'd have for you guys: is this what you get for shitting on guys that like to just chill and watch sports?
I mean, he is overdose maxing. I'll say that. The first person to do that, but yeah, when you get mogged by the whatever, and honestly, like for him, hopefully we don't release this and he does like die. But
I didn't even think about that.
I don't want to joke if he actually like
he's out.
Whatever.
I think he's out of the hospital. I guess he could die, but
knowing like I can't even say knowing him, but seeing all of the TikTok clips that I've seen of him, I have to assume it wasn't like a normal drug. It's like one of the first video clips I ever saw of him was like in the morning. It was like Tim Dillon making fun of his like ritual every day. And he's like, I take HGH for this. I take like GHB for this. And there was a lot of things, I know HGH, but there was a lot of other like muscle and like fat percentage things he's taking. And I'm like, oh, that's the type of dude to like OD on something that isn't like a recreational drug.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I couldn't even imagine all the shit that dude's putting in his body. But I mean, I didn't realize Looks Maxing was also kind of like sauce maxing,
Because you kind of gotta like at this point, doesn't he have to health max? Like, shouldn't that be part of Looks Maxing? Is like you gotta be.
That's why I think. I mean, Clavicular, this kid, and in general, I guess we were talking about influencers. Influencers, kind of in that like that bubble of like like edgelord content, like kind of red pilly content. It's like, dude, you like shit. Exactly, kind of your point, Jackson. You shit on people, but all you're doing is like streaming, which like we've talked about, literally like adds pretty much no value to like society. Like, yes, I guess entertainment. People, I'm not shaming how people are entertained, but I'm talking about from a creator's perspective. Like, they're not necessarily adding value to society. And it's like you're just fucking doing drugs and like, yeah, influencing people with your stupid opinions. So, I mean, Clavicular is literally just, I mean, he's a streamer, right? But like, what is he really? He's just like an opinion giver, like a talking head that people actually listen to. So it's like, it just shows you how kind of corny all this shit is.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you kind of said that it's like it's mostly just internet energy. Like I think it's gonna just it's gonna mutate. It's gonna survive whether he's dead or alive, and then it's gonna reach some other level.
Let's be the next thing.
Wi-Fi and opinion, and so I don't think he's carrying the whole map by himself.
Maybe he'll die a saint.
You think so?
Yeah. He's an inspiration.
Clav looks maxing God.
15-year-olds everywhere.
Would you give him sainthood? Would you anoint him sainthood?
Hell no, not to me.
Okay. But to someone, okay.
I'm not really his demo.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I think he might be aged out. Hopefully you're not.
Derrick Rose, sainthood.
Yeah. I don't know if it's karma.
Kobe Bryant, sainthood.
Oh, is Kobe Bryant controversial in 2026? You guys know I have this little.
I feel like Kobe Bryant was controversial in like 2004.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of put that all to bed.
And then he changed numbers and everything went positive from there.
True. Maybe Kobe 8 was controversial.
Kobe.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a phase in his life, and you got to like
mentality.
It's just life in general, you know. It's like it's growth.
It's in my camera view, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but I always get worried that like people are going to see it and then assume things about me. It's like I just like him for the basketball, man. Just like the basketball.
He also started Girl Dad, honestly.
Yeah, I was just saying he's like the peak girl dad.
Yeah, he is. He was kind of OG Girl. You're right. All right, JR, you're up for your chicken tendy, your piece, your three.
Do you want me to save my wolves, like my actual substance ones?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, I can go. Mine's kind of off the cuff a little bit. I kind of feel bad now. I'm changing mine up a little bit, but it's been a different day. It's been a unique day on the BTL podcast. I'm vibing it.
Here's where
it's WrestleMania week this week. Finally, the granddaddy of them all, as it's called. And you know, I won't go too far into the kind of the build up and the lore, but you have Roman Reigns versus CM Punk as the night 2 main event. The night 1 main event, you have Randy Orton taking on Cody Rhodes. Those are both title matches. But it's been kind of a tough year for WWE ever since John Cena's retirement tour was kind of a flop, but people were still watching it because it was John Cena. And ticket sales have been really bad. I know for this WrestleMania, people are talking all online about the ticket sales. And I know, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but TKO owns WWE, which also owns UFC. So I think that both of those companies are going through a bit of they're kind of in their private equity era, maybe is the way to put it, where the product's just getting worse and advertisements are getting more abundant, and the product on TV is becoming less about the wrestling or the fighting. So I'm curious to see how this WrestleMania goes. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is also wrestling, who has kind of cleared his charges, although he was involved in the Vince McMahon stuff that came out a few years ago. But whatever. I guess when you draw. Just a little, I'll let you do the research, but we all know Vince McMahon's a bit of a creep. But Brock Lesnar was caught up in that. But I guess, if you draw money, who cares, right? In wrestling, I suppose, in the crooked world that is wrestling. But no, a lot of good stuff, even though the hype has been kind of low. If I can watch it, I do think I'm going to try to watch the main events. Randy Orton. I know, Jackson, you're a Randy Orton guy. And I kind of fuck with Roman Reigns. I'm hoping he kind of shuts up CM Punk this weekend, to be honest. So,
dude, see, I'm a Punk guy though.
I know. Yeah. We'll see.
That's tough.
John Cena is the host, so it should be a decent weekend.
Punk.
That's what I'm saying. They're throwing it back. They got the old guy.
I might have to watch. I might have to watch. What time is it on?
It's on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know. They're like both 3-hour long programs. So yeah.
But like I guess the Wolves Nuggets is 2:30 on Saturday.
I think they do an hour free on ES. I think the first hour is free on ESPN for both nights, though. And I know Brock versus Oba is on the free hour. It is ESPN's service. So WWE has the same issue that like the Masters has and stuff, where it's like all their big events are kind of split through different platforms. But Netflix seems to get the lion's share of them. This is a Netflix one. Okay, so you have to get Netflix's. Remember, or not Netflix. I apologize. ESPN. So you have to get ESPN's $30 streaming. Have you guys signed up for that yet? ESPN's $30 streaming service.
It's ESPN Plus because I pay for ESPN.
I actually forgot about it. I genuinely forgot about it.
They call it All Access, right? Isn't it ESPN All Access or something like that?
I actually don't know. I genuinely, and I consider myself in the sports. I don't know.
Well, I was curious because I know like being if the same parent company that UFC took that bag with Paramount. So I was curious if they would maybe be on Paramount. But then like you mentioned, I remember that WWE went to Netflix. So I'm like, okay, like surely I'll have streaming access.
Yeah, Raw's on. It's kind of weird though.
Netflix, but now I don't.
No, you can watch Raw on Netflix, but you can't watch the pay-per-views on Netflix. And you also still need cable to watch SmackDown because it's on, I think, USA. So
I'm
not cheaper. It's all split up.
If you were a WWE fan, because I'll illegally stream this. Hopefully, hopefully,
Cash Patel's gonna freaking bust.
Hopefully, Triple H isn't listening to BTL, but who knows? He might be. But I'll just stream it. But it sucks because it's on everything. WWE is on Netflix in other countries besides the United States.
Yes.
So, you're better off just getting a VPN than paying the $30 a month for ESPN Plus. So that's kind of annoying, but. Yeah, I do. I am excited. I'm with you, Carver. I'm hoping Roman Reigns wins. I'm kind of at the point where he's up there on the Mount Rushmore with numbers wise, he does more numbers than like Cena and The Rock. Obviously, it's a different era, and everyone can stream things. But as a lifelong Cena fan,
there's more money in it.
I'm now finding myself like I need to cheer for the next GOAT now. So now I need to cheer for Roman Reigns. But Obafemi, they are smart for making. They kept saying ESPN proper, and I was like, that just means ESPN, right? But they are smart for having the Oba versus Brock match on the first hour free, so everyone.
I'm guessing that was an ESPN. I'm guessing that was an ESPN saying, "Hey, you're going to do this."
Yeah, like if anything, and I think it's good for not everyone, even non-wrestler fans know, like they've heard the name Brock Lesnar, so I think it's good to have his match available for people to see. So maybe someone sees it on ESPN, they're like, hey, maybe I should watch wrestling. These two huge 6'6", like 300-pounders are just going at it. So I'm excited for that too.
Yeah. Any thoughts on WrestleMania this weekend, Peyton?
I like what you said about the private equity thing. Because it's weird because this is like combat sports, and it's sinking teeth into it. And I don't know a ton about WWE side, but I imagine it's kind of the same thing. Like I've noticed it with the UFC too, is just like the texture to it, like just the vibe to it is like kind of like shifted up. It's a little bit more safe. Like they're like the book. It seems like the cards that they're like booking is like safer. Like they're taking fewer risks. There's like less like chaos, and like that's the whole point of like WWE's vibe and the UFC's vibe is that I've noticed it recently, and it's just like it's still fun. I still enjoy watching it, but it has shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like eating pizza without the people eat pizza without.
Oh, exactly.
The sauce. It's the same thing as that. It's like, still eat it, but it's not really what I'm going.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. And I've been watching some of the old stuff, some old wrestling on Netflix, but I haven't. Yeah, I'm not really watching it live. Like I'm not watching Raw every Monday or SmackDown every Friday. I'm mostly seeing clips and reels and recaps on, just through that. But I'm mainly watching the old stuff, but when I do, and when I kind of keep up with the new stuff, that's kind of what I hear. Is just not that it's safe, but that it's just stale, that there's not as many matches as there used to be. There's now like a bunch of sponsorships on the ring, like on the ring mat, which is just like wild to me. But, I get it, whatever. I mean, I don't get it, but I mean, I understand it, but don't like it. But no, I continue to stay away just because I can see from afar kind of how it's going, and I'm just not as interested in giving it my full attention in that regard. I'll watch the old stuff, which I know gives them money, but who gives a crap?
Are you starting to walk back the classic BTL principle that we should always sell out? Because it seems like the fighting game's sold out, and now you're not interested.
Yeah. I'm the guy getting squeezed. You know what I mean? So like, I have a right to bitch.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't disagree with you at all.
You hate being on the opposite end of a sellout.
Yeah. Like I can see what's going on. You know what I mean? When it's obvious, I can bitch about it.
When the product's clearly compromised post sellout, that's when it's tough.
Yeah,
especially as a consumer of it.
But we'll see how this weekend goes. Obviously, SummerSlam's in Minneapolis, so that's kind of why I've been locked back in. And we'll see. Yeah. We will kick it to you, Justin, for the final chicken tender.
Yeah, this should be a quick one, so we can get right into Wolves talk. I just want your guys' opinion on, do you think, just a quick couple sentences, do you think Pope Leo is too weak on crime? That's my question for you guys.
Honestly, yes.
As a pope with the amount of power that he holds in law enforcement and creating said laws.
I'm just saying he could be saying more.
I guess when I think about popes historically and what they've done, I guess he maybe is a little soft on crime. So kudos to President Trump.
He's a very 2026 pope. That's all I'm going to say.
What do you think, Peyton?
I think he's definitely very weak on crime. He's shown that through his actions, through his policies.
His prayers.
His prayer. So, if my pope's not on the streets cracking skulls, I don't want him.
Yep. I want his guard out there, kind of like season 4 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Dog the Bounty Hunter would have been a great pope.
Yep.
Just as a lifelong Catholic, it's annoying hearing the Catholic converts start, like, once you start going at the Pope for criminal justice issues, when all he did was say maybe you shouldn't go to war. Which is a kind of popely thing to say.
I think that's about as easy as a statement that a pope can say. Yeah, especially from the offending, especially from the offending country.
Right. I don't think he had to pray very long to come to the conclusion that maybe like attacking Iran was a bad decision by the United States.
Yeah,
and I don't think he was like breaking precedent from the rest of the popes either. It's not just like
right.
I think that's kind of always been the stance. So, but Pope Leo says it, and he's drawing the heat.
And the Catholic Church will let things slide traditionally, but war is where they draw the line. So
I'm really surprised. It is funny, obviously, as somebody who has felt a certain way about the guy running the White House. It is funny to see that is like the jumping off point for, like, it seems like a lot of like the Christians that really like the president, which, whatever, like who you like, whatever. It's a binary choice. I get it kind of to a certain degree. But it is funny that like the tweeting of him in the AI slop that he tweeted, like 100,000th AI slop photo he's tweeted in this administration, which goes like, sorry, I'm talking loud. No, probably. But it's like, I think that is probably maybe something that bothers me the most, or goes the most like untalked about, is just like how much AI the dude posts. It's like that guy is constantly in ChatGPT. Like, it is wild.
Post 0 AI pictures. That should be like a common. Even if you're a 35-year-old president, you're at the lower limit. AI photos of yourself should just not be posted ever. Honestly,
right.
I mean, nobody should post AI photos of themselves.
Think about who's posting AI photos like on your Facebook feed. You know what I mean? Like,
good point. I was going the other angle where this is Mr. Fake news, can't trust the media, but like when it comes to me, I'm gonna post AI slop. It's like, okay, dude, like that's just seems a little like double standard, disingenuine there.
He's old. You gotta remember he's old grandpa.
But I don't know. Yeah, I would have never thought that in the big divorce that the country seems to be going to as politics gets more and more divided, that the Dems would end up getting Catholicism. I never thought in a million years
Yeah,
that was going to
and it
be
would be over
the split.
AI and him saying praise Allah on Easter.
Just imagine it's going to be fun in like 30 years to be like, there was once a time where right after Easter, the president posted a picture of himself as Jesus, an AI photo. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then came at the Pope for being soft on crap.
People will be nostalgic for these times. Don't get me wrong. People will be. That's my grand prediction.
Will you be?
Oh yeah, I'll be super
Okay.
nostalgic for these.
Okay.
I'll be nostalgic for my
So
youth.
fun. Yeah, these last 10 years, these 10 years I've enjoyed, but on a personal level. We can move on to kind of the main event. Obviously, for our video listeners out there, our video viewers out there, you can see OG has the Denver Nuggets flag in the background. It is Wolves versus Nuggets in the playoffs, round 3 since the year of our Lord 2023. Denver won in 5 back in 23. But remember, we got to raise the banner. We gave him the hardest series that year. So we did raise that banner.
That still flies at Target Center.
That still flies, yes. That still flies. And then obviously we had the epic 7-game series back in 23. That was in round 2. And we won that in 7 with some heroics and a 20-point comeback in game 7. So here we are now. Obviously, Denver, I think they are to win the series. I believe they're minus 285 to win it. So almost 3-1 to win this one outright. But obviously, when these two teams get together, it's usually pretty good. Denver won the season series 3-1. And I will note, the only game the Wolves won, Aaron Gordon did not play, and the Wolves were at full strength. So, who would like to take the honors of starting off our general preview of this first round series?
I can take a cut at just kind of the high level stuff, and then we can kind of go from there. We'll try to keep it like a 10,000 foot view.
Yeah. Have whatever you want.
I have some fun stats in here, just kind of saved away that I've seen on Twitter in preparation for this. One is that this is a rivalry game. I think the Nuggets and the Wolves have a true rivalry. They play each other 4 times a year, which only teams within their own division do. They've played each other now 3 of the last 4 years in the playoffs. Split the 2 series previously. Now we're going to kind of see the rubber match here. And an interesting note is in their last 28 games, dating back to 2022, they've split that 14-14. These teams have been kind of evenly matched at each other's throats here. At least the last 3 years, I would say. Prior to that, obviously with Denver winning the title, you could clearly make the argument they were unmatched that year, which is totally fair. But these teams have kind of found each other at odds multiple times, and just based on how the Nuggets have been performing this season, they are the favorites, as Carver mentioned, leading into this. But this is not the first time the Wolves have been the underdog in a 3-6 matchup. They were the underdog against the Suns in 2024. I think it was a pick. It was 115, so it was a pick, I guess, if you want. Against the Lakers last year, the Lakers were minus 190. And then coming into this year now, this is a larger dog, so not nearly the same context, like we're not talking 2-1, we're not talking a pick, we're at about 3-1 now. But at the same time, this is not the first time the Wolves have found themselves in a first round matchup where they are the underdogs, and it's worked out pretty well for the Wolves in the last 2 years. So we'll see if that trend can kind of hold serve here as they go on to face the Denver Nuggets in kind of the rubber match in this rivalry over the last 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah, a lot has changed over you guys both talked about the past, kind of getting them in the past, and we going into that 23-24 years, the 24 playoffs. Obviously we had their number that regular season. The BTL podcast was first on the scene right after a game 5 loss that we were going to get them if we got them again the following year, and they did. You could just see that a healthy Wolves team that team was specifically built, like Tim Connolly built the team just to beat the Nuggets. Things are different this year. That year, I have some of the offensive, defensive net ratings. To keep it short, our net rating in 2024 was third. Nuggets were fourth. We had the number one ranked defense that year. This year, our net rating is 10th. Theirs is 7th. They do have the number one ranked offense in NBA. And one of my, not necessarily, well, I was saying I was going to put my Nuggets into this, but it's always fun to start the series to talk about like X factors going into a series. And one of the ones, I'm sure one of you guys can talk about the health of Anthony Edwards at some point. But one thing that really stuck out to me looking at this, and Carver mentioned the time we beat them this year, they didn't have Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon he's still an athletic freak, can play defense, but his offensive game has transformed. When we played them 2 years ago, he was shooting, I think that year he shot 29% from three on about 2 threes a game. The years leading up to it, just so it wasn't an outlier, he was shooting about 33 in the 3 to 4 years leading up to it on 2 a game. This year, he's shooting 39% on 4.4 a game. So he's doubled his volume of threes, and he's now shooting 40%. And if you include last year where he shot like 42%, 43% on the same volume, he's just gotten better, more confident at shooting the three ball. And that is, when we played him last time, a lot of the game, we lucked out that at the time, Michael Porter Jr., it was just sagging off MPJ. It was sagging off
OG shakes his head.
Even Aaron Gordon. It was just towards the end of the series, it was like, especially game 7, it was like, okay, we can put Cat on Jokic, let Rudy Gobert do his thing, and just make anyone else beat you. And luckily, Jamal Murray is kind of was the X factor in that series. This games where Murray played well. They played well, and when he didn't, the Wolves handled things.
You're forgetting the Aaron Gordon game, dude?
Did he have a big game? I remember, all I can remember from that series is like getting mad at Aaron Gordon. So in hindsight, that doesn't mean he had a good game.
He had that game at Target Center where I think he went like 11 for 11 or maybe like 10 for 10. Like he had a perfect shooting night and just crushed the Wolves. I have the stats pulled up here. He shot 59% from three in their series in 2024.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he shot 59% in the series that went 7 games in 2024. He had 3 attempts a game.
Oh, that's pretty good volume then, especially for him, with the fact that Jokic is going to get 25 shots on this team. But I think we talked about it last time, and once again, like X factors, we also discussed last time we played them. I'm interested to see if the Wolves go the route of, is Jokic going to beat us, or is the team going to beat us? Or is this offense just too good where it's like, oh, we need to beat them offensively, you're just not going to stop them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of my keys to the game too, breaking it down. I think on the Nuggets side, like their keys, like in my opinion of watching them play, is it's going to be whether the supporting cast around them can shoot, in what capacity Jamal Murray shows up. Like Jamal Murray shot 40% from the field in that series as well 2 years ago. So that was kind of their handcuff. And I mean, also nobody else really shot that well from three outside of Aaron Gordon. And I guess I'm looking here and it says Christian Brown shot 44% on 9 threes. So I guess make of that what you will. But Christian Brown's going to be a lot more important on this go around, right? So kind of how those guys show up in a supporting role to Nikola, I think is going to be really important for the Nuggets, because I mean, the Wolves their game plan in the past against the Nuggets have kind of been let Nikola score and hopefully try to mitigate everybody else. And I mean, he's the best player in the world. So if you put in too much effort trying to stop him, I think you end up kind of exposing yourself a little bit. So really, I think on the Nuggets side of things, this comes down to how well that supporting cast can show up for him. And on the Wolves side, we've seen what the Nuggets like to do against Anthony Edwards. They can't guard him. So they bring 2 guys. They bring 2 guys early and often. And what's going to be decisive for the Wolves is how they handle those doubles, how Anthony Edwards is able to like cut and get back open and reposition after being double teamed and displacing, like assuming getting the ball out of his hands. And then also how those guys, once they get the ball dumped to them, how they play 5-on-4. I talked to you guys before the podcast, but I think my key to this whole series is going to be Ayo Dosunmu for the Wolves, because he's the guy that I probably trust the most, catching that ball in the 5-on-4 and making the right decision. Julius Randle, well, he's a good player, kind of can only play his one style of game. I don't really trust him to keep the offense moving once he gets that kick and make those quick decisions. And Rudy Gobert, I mean, he's never really been a savvy off-ball player. So I think that when you kind of look throughout the roster, I really think it's going to have to be Ayo that kind of carries that load of running the offense and distributing once the Nuggets make the inevitable move to take Anthony Edwards away.
Yeah. I want to go to OG, the Nuggets fan. I guess, what are you feeling going into this series?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know this is a Minnesota sports-based podcast. I know there's probably a lot of Timberwolves fans listening out there, but I got to break it to you guys. I think your little rain in the north shtick is going to get liquidated real fast. I want to take a look at the numbers, too. And you already brought up one of them. The 3-0 when we were healthy this year, 3-1 on the total season. But like you said, the one game, no Aaron Gordon. I don't think Peyton Watson played that game either. So 3-0 when we're fully healthy this year. We've won 12 straight to close out the regular season. Beat the Spurs twice in that stretch. The Thunder had a couple guys out. Beat the Thunder in that stretch. I think beat the Trailblazers. So we beat some good teams to close out the end of the year. We're hot, 12-0, or 12-0 to close out the year. I really like how we're playing. I think this is a year where it was a little weird because Jokic was out for a little bit. Obviously, Aaron Gordon was out for a little bit. But now everything's kind of like clicking together a little bit. And I think we're poised to make a run deep into the West this year. I think we can even get out of the West. But I will say the Wolves have given us a lot of good matchups the last couple of years. It has kind of become a little bit of a rivalry, and I am looking forward to it. And there's like I usually hate every team in the West. There's always been a couple exceptions. The Wolves have been one team where it's like, I don't mind the Wolves. I don't mind the Kings. There's a couple teams in there, but usually I hate like teams in the West with a passion. So I don't hate the Wolves.
What about the Lakers? What about the Lakers? Are they on that list as well?
They're probably one of the trashiest franchises.
Yeah, okay. Well
said.
But I'm excited. It's Saturday in the Mile High. I think it's like 1:30 p.m. tip-off Mountain Time. So you're walking in the Ball Arena. The altitude's going to be there. I'm excited. You guys are living in 2024 again, I think.
Okay. All right.
I think we won the Western Conference Finals last year, too, if we want to live in 25, I guess, as well.
That's true. We could live last year. No, I agree a lot with what you said, though, Jackson, obviously, earlier about Ayo. I think he's the X factor for a lot of the reasons you said. I have a few reasons why I like the Wolves, and you brought up one of them. Obviously, Ant always kills the Wolves. Ant always kills the Nuggets. I apologize. And Denver is a good team, right? Like OG said, they're rolling. Although some of those wins in that win streak aren't great. Utah twice, Portland twice, Memphis, Dallas.
Blazers are in the play-in.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I put them on there. But Denver is a great offensive team. They have the number one ranked offense, like JR said, and that's deadly. Like that alone itself is deadly. Defensively, they have the 21st ranked net. Wolves actually still, I know Wolves fans who have watched this, right? It's kind of been the slog watching them, especially defensively. They have taken a drop off, but they're still off 8th in defensive rating. So it's still a good defense when they want. And that's something I want to talk. Obviously, another point I'll bring up, right, is obviously Ant was nursing the knee injury. Obviously, I'm Johnny Optimist, so I'd like to think that the knee is fine and he was resting, and we were just kind of, kind of punting, I guess, at the end of the season to get a healthy Ant. Obviously, if he shows up in the first few games and looks like dog shit, you can throw pretty much every optimistic thing I have to say about this team out the window for their chances in this one. But Denver's defense is still bad. They have the 21st ranked defensive rating, like I said. So there's still opportunities to get to them. I saw Coach Adelman's kind of his pregame talking about what he's worried about, and he said they don't have rim protection, right? I mean, Jonas Valanciunas and Jokic, as my guy Johnny Krasinski wrote, they're vertically challenged centers. So there's not a lot of challenging at the rim. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities if we can beat guys off the ball, right? Anthony Edwards is elite at doing that. Jaden McDaniels, in his own unique way, is good at doing that. Even Julius Randle can be good at doing that from time to time. So can we get clean looks at the rim after getting around our guy? And then obviously the kick out to always, I mean, for every team in the NBA, right, you got to like hit your open shots with your role players. Peyton Watson, I don't know. So his status is uncertain, but Adelman's saying that he's hopeful that he and Spencer Jones are going to play, and that's who people think is going to guard Ant or have the best ability to guard Ant. I mean, they've both been hurt all year, and it's still unclear what their status is. So I have to imagine they're coming in banged up, and he's their best perimeter defender. So what happens with that? We'll see what happens with that. But what scares me, I guess, is and kind of what I've been hearing about a lot, and didn't realize until I was looking at the numbers and heard some talking heads is Wolves are a bad defensive rebounding team, which I guess is not very surprising because I kind of consider them a lazy team at times. And I think that usually shows up in defensive rebounding. So again, right, if Ant is hurt and plays bad and looks really bad, then the team can't win, in my opinion. So throw away everything I'm saying about them potentially being able to win this because I think they can, and I'm going to pick them to win it. But if they show up and the rebounding is shitty and they turn the ball over a ton, then we're not going to win. So it's not me trying to be Johnny both sides, but it's me just laying it out there. So I think the Wolves have a chance to win this series. Obviously I think they're an underdog for the right reasons. I don't think that's surprising, but I do think they're going to win. I'll take the Wolves in 7. I think Tony Macaroni. I think the offense. I know the whole question is, do they have a switch? I think they do have a switch. I think they're going to turn it on. They know how to beat the Nuggets. I know it hasn't, I guess, necessarily shown up exactly this year, but they've done it in big moments before. And maybe I am living in the past, but I think they'll be able to get it done. I'm not saying this team's going to win the West, but I think they can get out of the first round. I think they're going to win in 7. I'd rant.
You and Peyton both had some good notes there. I totally agree with you that I think the ability to score at the rim is going to be important. And I think that I totally agree also that the defensive rebounding thing I think is an effort thing at times. So that does kind of tie back into whether they can flip the switch or not. And if you believe that, one thing I'll note, Peyton talked about how the Nuggets are on a 12-game heater coming into the playoffs, which is a good note and something to be pretty concerned about. They're the hottest team in basketball right now. Yeah. The Wolves are 6-6 in their last 12. However, they do boast 2 wins against the Rockets, win against the Celtics in that stretch, and mind you, all of this is without Anthony Edwards. So I think bringing back Anthony Edwards in what capacity he's healthy is going to be what defines this series. And then ultimately, it's just whether the Wolves can flip the switch. And I think the Wolves, I've talked myself into this a little bit, that the Wolves are in a win-win scenario. Because if they can't flip the switch, Chris Finch is gone.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
We need to really have some Chris Finch dialogue.
Yeah, I agree.
And if they do, then, I mean, I guess we still got it. So, I mean, there's no reason to be mad about winning a playoff series, especially against the hottest team in basketball. But if they lose and they can't flip it, I think that you need to start having a conversation about whether his voice has gone just a little dormant in the locker room, like whether guys are really still buying into what he's saying. Like, it's not that I think he's a terrible coach. And part of the thing that he is really good at as a coach is with this week to prep, he usually comes out with a pretty good game plan. So I think that's a plus for the Wolves going into this. But I think that you got to have a really tough conversation about whether guys are still paying attention to what he's saying, whether he still like truly holds the locker room. If this team stumbles throughout the year, seems to take possessions, not even possessions, whole nights off, whole quarters of games off during the regular season, and then they get smacked in the playoffs, and you start to wonder to what extent is he still the right guy.
Yeah, I heard Colin quickly. I was listening to Coward this week, which I haven't listened to him in a while, but it was interesting. He was just buzzing through kind of the playoff teams, and he said, Minnesota, they're talented. Why are they a 6 seed ? And just kind of, moved on. But, it's kind of nice to hear the opinion of kind of a casual or somebody, an outsider, maybe is a good way to say it. And it's like, yeah, that's a good point. Obviously Anthony Edwards has been hurt, but and the team did go over. They went over by a game, their win total. But yeah, it is a little disappointing just in general. And I think if they were to drop an egg, or if they were in a situation where they just get ran and they have to play like Joan and he doesn't look ready, or they have to play TSJ and he doesn't look ready, I just think it's going to make Finch look really bad. But I want to kick it over to you, Peyton, and hear just a little bit more about what you had to say.
I do think that the Wolves can steal one game.
One game.
I think you can get one game.
Are your Nuggets in 5?
I got the Nuggets in 5. I think you guys can steal a game at home just because the fans are desperate to cheer for something.
Wow.
But I think, just the fact the Wolves, I think you're young still, which, I like what you've been built. You've been on the cusp of building something the last couple of years. Like you have some good pieces, but you're still relatively young. You're inconsistent. And the thing is that matters most, it's less about the Wolves and it's more about the team you're playing. You're playing a dynasty in the making.
Okay.
And that's what it's really about.
Interesting. I mean, I've never really thought about us living in a Nuggets dynasty. I've thought about a lot more about living in like an Oklahoma City dynasty. Thought about like what the Spurs are building. The Celtics also might be able to stake a claim to some of that too.
Yeah.
True.
That's a good narrative going into the playoffs. Somebody's gonna start a dynasty of the favorites to win it.
Right. I don't know. One thing that does give me hope, just a little bit of optimism here, is just the difference in the net rating. Justin talked about the net rating off the top, and going back in past years, there wasn't really much separation. And even though the Timberwolves have relatively underperformed in the net this year, they're still not separated by much with Denver in the net rating. I think it's like 5-3 in a positive net, offensive to defense. So I still think that gives us hope to keep it. To push the series longer than 5 games. I was going in thinking the Nuggets were this juggernaut, hottest team in basketball, but I've started kind of digging into a little bit more. I think you've got some time on ice here over this past week, cooling off a little bit, rest versus rust, building up some rust. And I think that gives the Wolves a good shot to at least push this to 6, if not 7. And at that point, who knows? I trust the team that's won a game 7 and against these two teams before, I guess.
Yeah, it would be an easier series to predict if we had it's not like Anthony Edwards, like he's played a couple games, I think 2 games in the last month. But he played about
like hardly played them
25 minutes. Like in the game he played more, it was like 25 minutes he played. So it's tough because it is truly, we don't know which Anthony Edwards is going to show up. I texted you guys earlier this week and I said, when Jackson first said it's probably Nuggets in 6, I said, but what if Macaroni Tony shows up game 1 from jump? And that is a question. If like, how healthy is Anthony Edwards? Were they playing him? Were they resting him in the 2 games he played, playing him low minutes because he physically could not? Or they were like, okay, we're kind of locked where we are. We just need to rest his knee. So that'll be, we'll know in the first quarter. Obviously, it might take him a little time to catch his wind, to take him a little longer during game 1. But, if Anthony Edwards shows up, then we can pull off a win in this series. And I do agree, my win-win that Jackson mentioned earlier is, like, from a Wolves, there would have been a huge benefit to playing the Lakers. I think we would have beaten the Lakers in 5. They just don't have Luka.
I think we would beat the Rockets too.
Yeah. So I think like part of me was like, oh, if it would have been nice for the Spurs to win. I also think I would, if I was the Nuggets, I'd rather play the Rockets than the Wolves. So I don't know why they were trying to win or lose that game, or trying to win that game. But the nice thing about playing the Nuggets to start is it's not like you get even last year, we were a good team, but you beat a Lakers team that I thought we were going to win right away. And then you beat a beat up Golden State team. Year before we were just good. That team was good. That team had Karl Anthony Towns. It was an apron year, as I would call it. But this, at least now, it's like, okay, Anthony Edwards is going to be 25 this offseason. You play a good team from jump, figure out if you can beat this team or if you do need to regroup. So I think from that standpoint,
Agreed.
from an unselfish, I don't want to just enjoy more weeks of watching my favorite team play basketball. I am happy that they are playing right now, probably the third best. Like the Lakers aren't the third best team. The Nuggets are probably the third best team in the West. I don't think that's you could.
I think we can come down with the Lakers slander.
I'm not.
I think
the
Nuggets are far and away the third best team in the West.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. You're just getting it out of the way to start. But yeah, we'll see. If I was, that's what I was going to say. If I was the Spurs, I would have let the Nuggets. Like the Spurs would have had a nice path if the Nuggets would have dropped to 4. But yeah, but to your point of building a dynasty, I don't know if I would say the Nuggets are a dynasty when they have like the third best odds to win the West. I would agree with Jackson as much as I'm going to be torn. I like Wemby, but because I'm an Ant guy, I don't want Wemby to take over the NBA. But I also can't cheer for Oklahoma City. I just cannot cheer for the Thunder.
I know. There's the tie. Yeah, I'm the same way.
And I hate Boston, so it's like,
I don't want to
if the Wolves don't win the finals, it'd be sick to see the Pistons do it.
I get behind Detroit though.
It'd be fun to see Cade and them do it.
See, Caden boys.
Before we're in their division.
I love Jokic though. Like, I mean, if the Wolves lose this series, I think I'll be
fuck Jokic.
I'm a big Jokic guy.
I lead into it. I know everybody acts like it's impossible to fucking hate Jokic. I stand up on the hill.
No one acts like it's impossible.
The Lakers Dodgers fans hate Nikola Jokic.
I know. I got the Dodgers up right now. They're beating the.
All right. So do we have everybody's predictions in?
Carver, your mic might not be
you're muted.
Sorry, I said mine. I said Wolves in 7. Did you guys hear my compliment to Joe Buck or no?
Nope.
I said I am watching the Dodger game right now, and Joe Buck's calling the game. So
calling the baseball game tonight.
Yep.
Very cool, Joe.
I know OG loves that.
Yeah. I saw that a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, great. I guess I'm not watching the Wednesday night Jackie Robinson game. I'll be missing that one.
Damn, dude.
Get a better announcer on
Jackie Robinson.
It's not. Get a better announcer. Get Bob Costas on the call, and I'll watch.
Oh, what about oh shit? What about Jason Benetti?
He's grown on me over the years. He's
okay. Used to be Jason Benetti.
What about Book Shambi?
Book Shambi's
you're not a big
sucks.
What?
Book Shambi? No, I don't know. I like him better when I do baseball. I hate him in basketball too.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I think I'm going to take.
What are your predictions?
I think I'm going to take the Nuggets in 7.
Okay. Justin?
I'll go Wolves in 6 till it ain't.
Okay.
I mean, it is still Wolves in 6 till it ain't.
Yeah, that's
part of my Nuggets in 7 angle is that it is Wolves in 6 till it ain't.
Yeah, exactly. Until they got freaking 3 wins, it's Wolves in 6 till it ain't.
Yep. OG, and you're officially.
I feel good about the gentleman's sweep. It could go to 6, but I'll go Nuggets win 4-1.
Nuggets win 4-1.
Do you agree to be back on Saturday game, off Sunday, no travel? I'm assuming they'll play Monday, or is it Tuesday?
I think they play on Tuesday. They don't play here until Friday.
Okay. Do you agree if the Nuggets are down 2-0, would you like to come back on next week?
I will come back and answer that. I can come back and answer to that.
You have to come back on if they're down 0-2.
I will come back down. I'm not afraid to go into the Lions den.
Love it. Okay. Thank you, OG, for joining us. Episode 187 of the Between the Lines podcast. It was a good show. Really enjoyed that. It was fun. Hope you enjoyed our preview. Hope you enjoyed our talk before Nuggets or our attendees. My bad. Jesus. But they were good. It was good. Twitter at the King Report _ or at the King Report _2. At Instagram at Between the Lines Podcast _0. OG, anything you want to shout out, plug for yourself?
It was just a pleasure to be on here. Like I said, the Caleb Combs special bracket came through this year. Shout out Michigan. Shout out Big Ten champs. Best conference in college basketball, probably college athletics in general. And yeah, it was good chopping up with you guys.
For sure. All right. We'll be back next week. Hopefully the Wolves are in a good position. Peace.